The predator that ruled 1,000 worlds bowed its head before one human. The Nexus Council chamber fell silent as the massive doors groaned open. Through the threshold stepped a creature that had haunted the nightmares of 1,000 civilizations, the Vex Thara, supreme apex of the hegemony. Its chitinous exoskeleton gleamed like polished obsidian, and its 6 red eyes swept the assembled representatives with predatory calculation. Each of its 4 arms ended in razor-sharp talons that had personally ended the lives of 17 planetary governors. Behind it walked a single human. Dr. Elena Vasquez appeared almost comically small beside the 8-foot killing machine, her simple gray diplomatic uniform unremarkable except for the small United Earth insignia on her shoulder. She carried no weapons, no guards, no ceremonial regalia, just a worn leather satchel and the kind of tired expression that came from too many sleepless nights. Ambassador Thecalon of the Centauri Collective felt his gill slits flutter with anxiety. The Vexithara had conquered half the known galaxy in less than 2 standard cycles. Its fleets had reduced entire star systems to cosmic dust. Its ground forces were unstoppable engines of destruction that left only silence in their wake. And now it walked into the heart of galactic civilization, as if it owned the place, which technically it did. "I have come." The Vexithara's voice resonated through built-in vocal amplifiers, each word dripping with the authority of absolute power, "to announce the terms of your surrender." The assembled delegates shifted uncomfortably. Some had already fled their homeworlds. Others had watched helplessly as their defense fleets were obliterated in minutes. The Vexithara hegemony was inevitable, a force of nature that consumed everything in its path. Elena stepped forward, and every eye in the chamber turned to her. "Actually," she said quietly, "I think we need to talk first." The Vexithara's head swiveled toward her with mechanical precision. "You dare interrupt Dr. Elena Vasquez, xenobiologist and ecological systems analyst," she continued, as if the apex predator of the galaxy hadn't just threatened her. "I've been studying your species for the past 6 months." A ripple of shock ran through the chamber. Study the Vexthara? Most species couldn't even survive long enough to observe them properly. The creature's mandibles clicked ominously. "Your study is irrelevant, mammal. Your species will submit or be exterminated." Elena opened her satchel and pulled out a simple tablet. "Did you know," she said conversationally, "that your homeworld of Kethvar had a biodiversity index of 847 different ecosystem types before your species achieved sentience?" The Vexithara went very still. "Remarkable planet, really. I managed to access some of your oldest historical records, the ones from before you developed faster than light travel. Kethvar was what we'd call a garden world. Vast coral forests, crystalline lakes that sang in the wind, migration patterns of creatures so beautiful they inspired your earliest art forms." Elena swiped through images on her tablet, showing holographic reconstructions of an alien paradise. "These are computational models based on your own archaeological data. I particularly love these butterfly analogs. Wingspan of nearly 2 meters, wings like stained glass windows. Your ancestors called them sky dancers, if I'm translating correctly." The chamber was dead silent now. Several delegates leaned forward, confused by this unexpected turn. "All extinct now, of course," Elena continued matter-of-factly, "along with 96% of Kethvar's original biosphere. Industrial pollution, urban expansion, resource extraction. Classic signs of a species that outgrew its cradle too quickly without developing sustainable practices." The Vexithara's claws extended, slightly. "What is your point, human?" Elena looked up from her tablet, meeting those 6 red eyes without flinching. "My point is that you're not a predator, Vexthara. You're a refugee." The words hit the chamber like a physical blow. "Ambassador." Thecalon felt his respiratory sac seize up entirely. "You destroyed your own world through short-sightedness and greed," Elena said, her voice gentle but unyielding. "And now you're doing the same thing to the galaxy. Consuming resources, eliminating diversity, leaving dead worlds in your wake. It's not conquest, it's desperation." The Supreme Apex took a threatening step forward, but Elena didn't retreat. "I've run the calculations," she continued. At your current rate of expansion and resource consumption, you'll strip mine the galaxy bare within 50 standard cycles. And then what? Where will you run when there's nothing left? We are the apex species, the Vexthara snarled. We take what we require. You're addicts, Elena replied simply. Addicted to expansion because you can't face what you've lost, what you've done to yourselves. She pulled up another image, this one showing a small blue world dotted with white clouds. This is Earth. We nearly made the same mistake you did. Climate collapse, mass extinctions, resource depletion. We came within decades of rendering our homeworld uninhabitable. She paused. But we stopped. We learned. We found another way. Impossible, the creature hissed. Species do not change. The strong consume the weak. This is the natural order. The natural order, Elena said quietly, is balance. Predators that consume all their prey don't become apex species. They become extinct species. We learned that lesson just in time. She closed the tablet and looked directly at the supreme apex. I can help you learn it too. The Vexthara stared at her for a long moment. Then, impossibly, its head lowered slightly. You would help us? After what we have done? Elena nodded. Because of what you've done. Because I recognize the desperation behind the violence. Because even apex predators deserve a chance at redemption. She pulled out a data chip and held it out. Sustainable technologies. Ecological restoration techniques. Agricultural systems that work in harmony with existing biospheres instead of replacing them. Everything we learned from our own near extinction. The chamber held its breath as one of the galaxy's greatest killers stared at the small piece of technology in a human's outstretched hand. Finally, with movements that seemed almost reverent, the Vexthara reached out and took the chip. Why? It asked, and for the first time its voice carried something other than menace. Elena smiled sadly. Because someone has to break the cycle? And maybe, if we're very lucky, we can help you remember what your ancestors saw in those sky dancers. Dilai, supreme apex of the hegemony, conqueror of 1,000 worlds, bowed its head before a single human who offered not surrender, but hope.